You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to this. The NBA season is almost like 30% through. We got 25 games done this year. We've got some surprises. We've got some great players like Malcolm Brogdon's averaging almost 20 points. But joining us today on this, we have Justis, Nijee, Danny, and Tristin, normal NBA guys. So the Brooklyn Nets, their big three, they've been together for a few games. We've seen their offense. They have a historically rated offense. But they have a very much of an Achilles heel of giving up 150 points to teams like the Wizards. So, Justis, we'll start with you. They had a great win on Tuesday versus the Clippers. Do we think the Nets could come out the East even with the deficiencies on defense?
I think they will. Despite the overreactions from coming the Nets' way, I think they're doing exactly what I thought they were going to do so far. I think that in these games we've seen two different Nets teams. We've seen the Nets team who doesn't play any defense, and the Nets team who actually plays defense. Because we've seen them give up 150 points to the Wizards, lose to the Cavs 2 times, but then we've seen them play against the Bucks and the Clippers and have close games and play defense. That tells me that they just need time. They need time to adjust with the team they have now. I don't think that Philly or the Bucks or the Heat have the firepower that can match our offense. So I think that the Nets are going to make the finals, but they need to pick up another big if they want to beat the Lakers. Anthony Davis will literally pull up Wilt Chamberlain numbers on DeAndre Jordan if they play the Lakers in the finals. So I think the Lakers are still the favorites to win the finals, but the Nets will definitely make it out the East if the 3 stars stay healthy.
And speaking more on defense with the Nets, they just picked up Iman Shumpert. He was on the team last year. I think he is a champion. I think he still has some legs. He still can provide some good defense. But Danny, we'll go to you. We saw Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook played very well against the Nets, probably because Kevin Durant. He was playing against Kevin Durant. He probably has something still to prove. But they gave up 149 points to them. Then they go out a few nights later, give up I believe it was 120 to the Clippers. Do you think they can be at least a little consistent on defense? They're probably still going to give up 115 points to 120 points a game. But do you think when they need to get stops, do you think that it's possible that they will?
Absolutely. I feel like they really can. As the season goes on, I feel like their defense will improve gradually. And towards the trade deadline, they can get some more pieces like an Iman Shumpert and more bigs so they can actually guard the paint like that. For me, I feel like it's a tale of two teams. They play up to their competition. Like you guys said, they played well against the Bucks and they played well against the Clippers, and they were able to stop those teams when it mattered. And they played down to their competition and they gave up 149 to the Wizards. So it just comes down to whether or not they're being lax defensively, and they just need to be prepared to take every team seriously.
Nijee?
Yeah, I agree with Justis. That offensive firepower is too much for any team in the East to me. Because if you watch that game against the Clippers in the fourth quarter, they ran ISO on Nicholas Batum throughout the whole fourth quarter, and who he was guarding was just eating. Because it's pretty hard when you they pick the weakest person on defense and they hit you with 3 different types of offense, and that's too much firepower. They average at least, they all gonna have 20 plus points by the end of the night, and the defense is that trash. The offense is that amazing, so I believe they're gonna out the East.
What they did to Nicholas Batum the other day, they ran whoever offense on them, and that means KD could get the ball, Harden could get the ball, and especially Kyrie. Kyrie was just lighting it up in the second half of that game against the Clippers. But Tristin, we'll go with you. I know the defense is a problem. It's actually a very big problem. But where do you think they need to be on defense to probably win that NBA title? Do you think maybe add some more pieces, or maybe just stick with some of the people they have and put some trust into them?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the last 4 or 5 NBA champions were at least top 5 in defensive rating. The Nets are
far from it.
So I think in my eyes, if they want any chance of sealing the deal, they're gonna have to make their way to at least the top 10. They've got such an incredible offense and such an incredibly awful defense that an accusation of Iman Shumpert is going to help a little bit, not that much.
On the perimeter side of it, yeah.
I don't know how much they have left to make trades. They're going to have to really rely on the free agent market. Their offense is enough to bring them to the finals because no one's going to be able to stop Harden, Kyrie, and Durant if they're all on fire in a night. So if certain teams, like if Beal gets traded to like a Philly or Boston, maybe his firepower can help propel them to try to take advantage of how weak the Brooklyn defense is, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it is going to be tough for teams trying to guard that because that's an historical offense, and that's just something I know coaches are really they dread when they see the Brooklyn Nets on their team schedule. But moving over to the West, a team that was supposed to make some big stocks, big waves in the NBA this season, potentially an MVP on their team, and Luka Doncic, the Dallas Mavericks. They're currently 13th in the West. They just got demolished by the Warriors last night. We were talking a little off camera before this, but Kelly Oubre just had 40 points. That doesn't happen. But Danny, it's a real rough start for them. What do they need to do to try to get back into the playoff picture?
Honestly, I'm not sure because I'm not sure what kind of moves they can make, but they kind of just look like an average or below average team right now. I was very surprised to hear this because they were one of the best offenses last season, but now they're like the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. Josh Richardson is shooting like 27%, Luka's shooting 20-something%, Kristaps is shooting 20-something% from three. So
hey, you're our accountant. You know that's not good. That is definitely
not good. They are in the red when it comes to threes. You live by the three, you die by the three. So that's
how Houston was a couple years ago
at the moment.
Exactly how Houston was. Yes, Tristin. Yeah, but Luka Doncic, he's voiced his frustrations on how the season's going, Nijee. But do you think that he single-handedly can turn this around? Because I think he is a generational talent as a player, but can he turn it around himself? Because I know he's going to need some help.
Like, okay, the season just started, and Porzingis just got off like his minutes restrictions, and he just played his first back-to-back game all season. So right now, I think Luka need Porzingis to step it up a little bit more and start to average 25, not 25, but average at least 20-something points and start fixing his field goal percentage because he needed his help. He need backup. It can't be just Luka show all night, all day, all night. When teams won't keep going, throw all eight defensive plays at him, and the rest team won't have like 10 points, 5 points. So he needs Porzingis to step up, and Luka need to fix his shooting percentage too.
Justis?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you give up 40 points to Kelly Oubre Jr., you obviously have a big defensive problem. But I think that's not their only problem, though. I think that they're missing some scoring firepower. Luka can't be the only one scoring. I know that Porzingis has been injured, but he's always injured. They need something else. Tim Hardaway Jr. shot too many shots last night. Like, I've never seen him shoot that many shots before in my life. I think
that's Michigan probably.
Yeah, I think there are some options to go out there. Zach LaVine is suffering in Chicago. Julius Randle, is. I think that his value is. I know Tristin. I know. But I mean, look, you guys aren't going for a championship now anyway, and I think that another big option would be not DeAndre Jordan, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's a free agent next year. He's a good two-way player, a good scoring option. I just think Luka needs help, man. He needs help.
Yeah. Everybody, hey, it's a team sport at the end of the day. Everybody will eventually need help. Tristin, as this is a team sport as well, close this out.
If I'm not mistaken, again, I believe the Mavericks are like tied for 26th in the league for the worst defensive efficiency. I think it's Porzingis and Maxi Kleber are the only ones averaging at least a block or more so far this season. Porzingis is averaging like 18, 19 points right now. Nijee kind of scratched it from his point, but I'm going to say I think Porzingis needs to get that up a little, like maybe like a 22, 23 points. Zach LaVine, I don't know. I remember saying last year that the Mavericks should trade for him. I don't know if he would be the answer for them this year for the simple fact that the defense is such a problem. So I think if they can improve on the defense, I think their offense would benefit significantly from it.
Yeah. Now, moving from the West to the East again, and if we stick in that 13th spot, the Heat are the 13th team in the Eastern Conference, and they just were in the NBA Finals a few months ago in October. But Nijee, we'll start with you. It's definitely a disappointing start, but should we really be worried about the Heat?
All I'm saying is I'm sorry to all Heat fans out there. It's not going to happen because Jimmy not going to stop Kyrie and James Harden and Kevin Durant on defense. Because and also you got Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson on the court. Who they going to guard? Nobody. So it's going to be a field day because not like Giannis where they can build a wall. KD's 7 foot that can shoot for almost 35 plus range. So I'm like this. He's not going to make it to the finals. They'll make the playoffs, but like the Nets too stacked for them.
Yeah, and I think a few other teams out there. I don't know what it was about the bubble. We saw guys like T.J. Warren being called Michael Jordan in the bubble. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. I do not forgive anybody out there who was saying that. Danny, we'll go to you. Yeah, they're just in the finals, but they got the COVID, which has affected almost everybody in the world. It affected the Miami Heat. Avery Bradley was on the list. At a point, almost half or more than half of the team was on the COVID list. Do you think that there'll be maybe what's the highest seed you think that he could get back
to? They could. I think they could sneak like what they did last year. They could sneak to 5 if they get like really hot, like a 5th seed in the East. Because I mean, like a couple wins and they would be back in the playoff race. It's like you said, they've been, to me, the team that suffered the most with COVID and with injuries. Jimmy has missed like so many games. Like they played so many. Like Bam has been, for the most part, their healthiest star. Because I feel like Tyler's missed a bunch of games. Goran has missed a bunch of games. So just give them some time, fully healthy, and they should be fine.
Tristin?
I don't think they should be worrying yet, but that worry-free window is closing. I just want to point out, Jimmy Butler, I think, lost 11 pounds out of nowhere. I don't know what that's about, but I'm pretty sure that's probably affecting how he's playing. The way Nijee, Danny said, injuries, COVID, they haven't been 100% since that finals run. I'm hoping personally, at least, that they can bounce back once everybody's healthy. Sadly, they don't have the firepower for Brooklyn, but maybe trade for Beal. Who knows what can happen at that point?
Oh yeah, at that point, who knows? That's a whole different ball game. Justis, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't think the Heat should be worried, honestly. People have to realize that Tyler Herro's missed significant time. Jimmy Butler's missed 9 games this season. And also, they played in the bubble to the end, to the absolute end, just like the Lakers. And unlike the Lakers, who changed their roster up a little bit, they more or less have the same roster. You know, so I do think that they're going to need a little bit of time. I do think they sneak into like the 7th, 8th seed. And I think that if they're healthy, that's going to be dangerous, you know, if they end up playing the Bucks first round or the Sixers first round, that they're going to be a dangerous 7th or 8th seed.
Wait,
now,
before we go
ahead, Nigel.
You know how every year at least 2 playoff teams get knocked out, like from the previous years. This is a bold statement, but it may not happen. If Miami Heat do not make the playoffs, the Knicks is taking a spot.
The Knicks.
I can see this Knicks team. I can see the Knicks making the playoffs this year with that playing tournament.
The Knicks don't have a consistent.
They don't have a closer.
They don't like you said. If they get hot,
my Knicks don't have a closer. Oh, you know what? No,
all right.
If they get hot, they could go crazy and make the playoffs.
If Austin Rivers is one of your best scorers, you're not making the playoffs. Period.
From the chase to who will be the champions. Oh, this is going to be a fun NFL block. We're going to break down Super Bowl 55. We're also going to pick a winner. But great stuff here on the NBA block. But don't go anywhere here on WP Sports.